Lose. Look at somebody and said, are you a loser? Jesus brought his listeners to a decision when he made the statement. Listen to what he says. For what does a man profit if he gain or win the whole world and lose his soul?
That's right.
What do you gain? What do you gain by it? What do we gain if we gain the whole world and lose our own soul? Do you know how many people walk away from the will of God over a career?
Come on.
Do you know how many people walk away from the will of God so they can make a bigger paycheck? Yeah. He said, what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Look at, punch somebody in the side real hard and say, what will you give in exchange for your soul? Come on, punch him real hard and say, what will you give in exchange for your soul? Yeah. That word exchange means ransom. It has two meanings. One is the payment or payoff. And the other one, watch this, is to set free, liberate, or deliver. So Jesus was asking those that were listening to him, listen to what he's asking them. Watch this. He said, what are you willing to lose to be set free? What are you willing to lose to be liberated and delivered? What will you give in exchange for the liberation of your soul? Because until you get willing to lose, you can't win. You cannot win. It's amazing that some sports like baseball understand this concept. Yeah, they do. They're willing to lose in order to win. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. They get up, but they got a runner on third. And this guy's fixing the bat. And they tell him to bunt that ball down the first baseline. Right. And they're willing to lose that man on first to gain the most important thing, which is on third.
That's right.
Getting the man to first is not near as important as getting the man from third to home.
That's right. Right.
And so they give him orders, bunt it down the first baseline. And in butting it down the first gives him a greater chance of getting to home plate, though they sacrifice and they lose this base.
That's right.
Because at the end of the game, Sister Tina, it's not how many people got on the base that wins. Oh, God.
Come on. Right.
It's how many people got home that wins. Come on, somebody. Come on, look at somebody say, are you willing to lose yet? You got more to gain by losing for Jesus than you are to holding on to a bunch of stuff. Come on, somebody. If you just learn to lose a little bit, he'll do a whole lot. What you get out of it will be greater than what you thought you had.
Right.
It's amazing what people hang on to.
Come on.
Can I have about 5 more minutes?
Come on.
Sister Adams, Jesus goes to the house of the Pharisee. He's sitting there talking to that Pharisee's house, and then talking to the Pharisee and those are in the house. He's sitting there eating and talking, whatever. All of a sudden, this lady bursts through the door, which wasn't uncommon those days because they pretty much had open windows. And the crowd was probably sitting there looking inside by custom and listening to what was going on, though they couldn't come in. Well, this lady just pushes her way in, comes in, kneels at the feet of Jesus and begins to cry. And as she begins to cry, her tears falls on Jesus' feet, and she washes his feet with her tears, and she dries them with her hair. And then, out of nowhere, I don't know, underneath her robe, whatever, she pulls out this alabaster box, which was a soft, marble looking. It would look like marble, but it was softer than marble. It wasn't as hard and heavy, and called an alabaster. And it come from Egypt, from the city called Alabaster. And so the Romans named it alabaster, the rock alabaster. And there was perfume and ointment put in those alabasters. And she pulls this out to everybody watching. And she breaks the top off because this rock is soft. And so she breaks the seal that's been around the top. And she breaks the seal off. And she begins to reach in and get the anoint his feet. and that alabaster with that ointment of myrrh and perfume and spices by the value of what it was considered, because it was considered extremely precious and valuable in those days. And it would cost you, by some scholars estimated, a year's wages for you to have that little alabaster. She is a woman of the city, so which means that she probably was given that for services. And she has a year's wages in her hands. And she's finally met a man that doesn't want from her. And she comes in, breaks the seal, pours the ointment upon his feet, and he looks at the religious person. He said, when I come to your house, he said, you didn't offer water to wash my feet, which was the custom, and it was supposed to have been done. You didn't offer me oil upon my head, which was the custom and should have been done. And said, you didn't give me a kiss when I come to your house, which was the custom and was supposed to be done. Because every one of those customs, from washing your feet, anointing the oil, and kissing, told them that they welcomed you into their home and you could stay as long as you wanted. And by not doing it, you told them you want them to leave sooner or later. And he said, you didn't do nothing for me like that. You didn't do anything for me like that. But this woman, since she walked in this house, has washed my feet, dried it, and anointed me with this. Now watch what she did. She has given up a year's wages. This was something that cost her something. It cost her her body. It cost her her emotions. She has been giving herself to men all her life, and somebody give her an alabaster box. She's felt dirty all of her life. She's felt unworthy and worthless all of her life. And now, watch this. Now she lifts up her head with a PJ, and he said, oh woman, he said, your faith has saved thee. And he said, thy sins be forgiven thee. And she jumps up, walks out of the house. Why? Because what she got was greater than what she had to lose to get it. Come on, somebody. You may have to lose a lot, but thank God you got peace in your life. Thank God you got joy in your life. Thank God there's some happiness in your spirit. Now you feel complete. Now you feel whole. Now why? Because you lost. And by losing, you won.
Thank you.
Sister Kay, the ointment in that alabaster, according to history, was so strong that if when you got up to the marketplace, it could be smelled down the streets and the corridors of the city, that you knew you was getting close to the marketplace. This woman had just poured this myrrh, this ointment, that is so strong that it filled the house where they were sitting. But PJ, when she walked out of there, she had the aroma, the same aroma that Jesus had on him. She could walk down the streets and they go, wow. You know, it's like there's only one perfume I like for my wife. There's only one. And it's the product Poison. Any of those, I love those. They're very mild. They're not fruity smelling. They're not flowery smelling. And that's fine. That's what I don't like that. And that's the only thing I like. And so I know when my wife has passed by, when she wears, I know when she's wearing it. I can follow the trail. And so that's the same thing with this lady. For so long in her life, she has never felt complete. She has never felt whole. She has never felt worth anything because she had given herself away to so much. She never felt like she belonged anywhere because of whatever. But when she walked out of that house, she walked down the street, she left an aroma. And people say, wow. And can you imagine, Sister Tina, that hours later, Jesus would come by. And that smell, that aroma is so strong, they go, didn't we just smell? Didn't you just come by here? You sure? Because what the this. It's the same that was a couple of hours ago. You sure you didn't come? And so for days, wherever Jesus went, she come by, it would be the same room. How long is it going to be? Zacchaeus? Zacchaeus. Come on down, Zacchaeus. Let me talk to you. And he climbs out of the tree and he looks at the master. He said, Master, if I've taken anything from anybody wrongfully, he said, I'll restore it tenfold. Now watch what Jesus says. Zacchaeus, the tax collector, Sister Kathy, he has robbed people because that's how they make their living. And he said, Lord, I'll restore it 10 times what I've taken. Now watch what he says. He says, Zacchaeus, salvation has come to your house, Zacchaeus. Now you tell me, which one was worth more? Keeping what he had or getting what he got when he lost what he had? You tell me which one the woman valued more, a year's wages or deliverance? Which one? Both had to lose to win. So Jesus asked the question. I'm here. I'm here. There's nothing wrong with me, Jesus says. I'm willing to forgive, and I'm willing to restore, and I'm willing to make whole, and I'm willing. That's what I came to do. The question is are you willing to lose for me to do that?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Which one do you want? Because both the woman and Zacchaeus, what they gained was like Paul. What I counted as gain to me, I now just count it as waste. That I might win Christ. Nothing I have, Lord, belongs to me. It's all yours. If you knew it, here it is. Just give me you. Like this song says, you can take this whole world, but give me Jesus. You can take this whole world, but give me Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. Because what I see is more valuable than what I get. So I asked you this morning, are you willing to lose? Are you willing to lose? You know what you need to do? Some of you can't get healed because you won't let go of it. God wants to heal some of you so bad, but you won't turn loose of it.
Come on, you're so right.
You just won't go on in life. You won't lose it and let it be lost in the blood. So he can't do for you because you just won't do it. You know what some of us need to do, everybody? You get somebody by the hand and say, come on, let's go lose a few things. And let's lay it all at the feet of Jesus. Like the little woman with an alabaster box. So we can feel complete and wholeness in our heart. Come on. This altar's open right now. In Jesus' name.